Welcome to episode 57 of Book Nerd Paradise, where we get to know an author as they tell us one of their favorite quotes, read from their work, pose a trivia question, and give away a book or two. Hi, I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series. And as I mentioned in last episode, I have just rewritten the new and improved book one. So if you haven't yet downloaded a copy of the ebook, please do feel free to do so at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Google Play. Well, I have to say, I am very happy to be back with you this week because what you don't know is that the last 4 episodes, because I was in the process of getting ready to go on vacation, which I have just returned from. But in the meantime, my mom very suddenly passed away. And so vacation really was a good time to, I guess I would say, reflect, rest, kind of work through just the suddenness. I don't know if you all have experienced a sudden death in the family, but certainly I have to say, reflecting on death, I think really does tend to impact how you view life and living, right? I think it puts much more clarity to perhaps how you're thinking about how you're living. So anyway, so it was a good time. It was a hard time, but it was also a good time. I was just pleased to have that vacation that we had already planned in which to work through a lot of that stuff. So so anyway, I'm glad to be back and certainly excited to move forward with what we've got this week. So speaking of which, I am pleased to introduce to you this week Shawn McGuire. She's a young adult fantasy author, and so just a little bio. Colorado-based, Shawn started writing after seeing the first Star Wars movie as a kid. She couldn't wait for the next installment to come out, so she wrote her own. How about that? Sadly, those notebooks are long lost, but her desire to write is as strong now as ever. Her young adult novels deal with harder issues: dating violence, death of a family member, bullying, and teen suicide. Since these topics can be hard to handle, she infuses a good bit of humor as well, because she believes laughter can help you get through just about anything, which I have to agree. Please join me in welcoming Shawn McGuire.
Hey everyone. I'm so sorry to hear about your mom.
Yeah.
But I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Shawn, you'll be reading from your YA fantasy novel, Sticks and Stones, which is book one in the Wishmakers series. So that we can get a feel for the book and somewhat of the series, would you give us a brief synopsis?
From the back cover, everyone has a dark side. Mandy's just moved in with her. The last time Mandy Mateo broke a rule, her sister ended up dead. Since that day, she's been the perfect daughter and student, doing everything right for fear of the repercussions. Her friends want fun, not perfection, and abandon Mandy for parties and boys. Now truly alone, Mandy makes a wish to simply be happy. Nothing extravagant, just a wish to the universe that she never expects will come true. But then Desiree, a hippie genie with her own set of issues, shows up and grants Mandy's wish by bringing her childhood imaginary friend to life. Mandy soon realizes she should have listened to Desiree's warning. Magic wishes have one condition. Once started, they cannot be altered or revoked, no matter how bad things get.
Ooh, okay. This sounds like quite a tale about to be told. So, all right, buckle up, everyone. Also selected a favorite quote. If you would, share that with us and then tell us why it's a favorite.
Well, my quote fits with my Star Wars theme for my bio. My quote is, "Do or do not, there is no try." And that's from Yoda. That actually, when I first saw the movie many years ago, that quote hit me. I've always been one that, well, like anybody, I like to succeed. And if I don't succeed, if I can't do something well, I don't bother. I'm not sure exactly what that means. So do or do not, there is no try. If I try and it's not working, I don't try anymore. So that's just kind of a philosophy of my life.
Well, you know, that's not half bad, because there are many people who keep trying things and it's not working, and they're like beating their heads against the wall, which gets very frustrating, I have to imagine. So
Exactly.
you're also going to be giving away a book. If you would, tell us what you're giving away.
I will be giving away Sticks and Stones. This is the first in the series. I will be giving away a signed copy to any U.S. resident. And for anybody who wants to sign up for my newsletter, you can receive a free e-copy, and that's a worldwide offer. So all you have to do is go to the Wishmakers series.wordpress.com, and you'll find a link right there on that page. Sign up for my newsletter, and I will send you an additional link where you can choose either a Mobi file, which works on Kindles, or an EPUB, which works on any other type of e-reader.
Great, that's awesome. So just so you know, don't worry if you didn't get that link. I'm including it in the notes down below here. So just go ahead, open up the notes, and you can find the link to go over to her site to sign up and get the free ebook by signing up for her newsletter. Okay, so to enter to win the signed paperback for U.S. residents only, all you need to do is in the comments below, leave a comment. It could be anything about the show, what you liked, you know, anything you want. But please do also leave a contact, either Twitter handle, Facebook, or an email address, so that if you are the lucky winner, we can make sure that we can get you your prize. You'll be reading from your YA fantasy novel Sticks and Stones, like I said, which is book 1 in the Wishmakers series. Would you briefly set up the portion you'll be reading from and then share with us?
So the main character in this book, this little face right here, that's Mandy. Mandy has made a wish to be happy, as I mentioned in the synopsis. By this point in the book, she has made the wish. The wish my genie has received the wish and has arrived to grant the wish. Some strange things have been happening since Mandy made the wish. She's been seeing a girl around town who oddly resembles her imaginary friend. So that's where we are at this point in the book. She didn't move a muscle except to hold up a hand with 2 fingers splayed into a V. I stared at her, wondering what else could possibly happen to make this day any freakier, when she said, "Peace." "Peace?" Yeah, she spoke slowly, like her battery was running down. "It's all good." "What's all good? Who are you?" I repeated, coming up with a more demanding tone this time. "What do you want? Do you always enter people's homes uninvited?" She sighed and shook her head. "You made a wish," she said, and dropped into my sling chair that hung from the rafters. "This is far out, like a little hammock made for your butt. I love hammocks. Used to have one for a bed." She sat down in daze for a second, presumably thinking of her hammock. "I'm Desiree, by the way. I'm a wish mistress." She held out her hand to Pet Brulee, who backed away in a crouch and hissed. "A what?" I looked around. I really should keep a weapon of some kind up here. "You made a wish last night. A golden birthday wish, right smack at the last possible second of your day." How could she know that? How did she know yesterday was my birthday? Oh, wait, maybe she was at the party last night and what, followed me? That was a little psycho. "So what did I wish for?" I asked, crossing my arms. "And what's a wish mistress? Some kind of a fairy godmother or a genie or something?" "I'm neither a fairy nor anyone's godmother," she said, settling deeper into the butt hammock. "And I live in a renovated school bus, not a bottle or a magic lamp. I help make wishes deemed grantable come true. I'm a wish mistress. Came up with the title myself. Sort of groovy, don't you think?" Groovy? Deemed grantable? Clearly she was crazy. How was I supposed to deal with a crazy person? Wait, maybe Brooke and Chrissy put her up to this. It was some kind of birthday joke. I guess. If I played along, maybe she'd go away. "You don't really look like a fairy godmother anyway. You look like a hippie." She nodded, slowly. Everything about her was slow. Sort of a commune unto myself right now. But yeah, I was totally into flowers in my hair, peace and love, love, love. The whole scene. She frowned a little, then held out her hand for my cat again. He turned his back on her. "Don't bother. I'm the only one he'll come to." I stared at her, trying to figure out what I'd done to deserve the last 24 hours. So what? I tell you what I want? That's not how this works, little sister, Desiree said. You already made your wish. It came from the depths of your soul, and the cosmos decided it was worthy. I'm here to help it play out. Again, I asked, what was my wish? Everyone wished for something on their birthday. Saying I made a wish was a safe bet. This Desiree chick wouldn't be able to answer because wishes couldn't be granted. Desiree shook her head. You have to figure that out. It's not a thing, your wish. It's a destination. You'll have to follow the path. The first part is standing out next to the creek. I looked out the window. The only thing out there were a deer and that girl who looked like my imaginary friend. And since there's zero reason I'd wish for a deer, you're telling me that's Lexi. The one and only, Desiree said. She's real, as in a real girl, and she's really alive. The answers to those questions, Desiree said, require some existential examination. She reached into her fringed brown suede bag, pulled out a pair of sunglasses with big round blue lenses, and put them on. What does it mean to be alive? Blood pumping through veins, oxygen flowing through lungs or gills or whatever the body in question requires, a brain making the package run, having been born or somehow created? Does that make something alive? I said, yes. She smiled and closed her eyes and shifted so her head hung over the edge of the chair. The girl standing out by the creek, Desiree said, or more accurately, the figure that resembles a girl has a brain in that she's able to think and interact. She appears to breathe, so I assume there are lungs, or gills. I didn't look. I can't respond to the blood in the veins thing. Again, didn't look. Can you answer my question or not? I asked, starting to feel irritated. Is that really Lexi? Lexi, Desiree said in her hazy, mellow way, sprang fully formed 10 years ago from your 6-year-old mind, so while she was created, she wasn't born in the traditional sense. Yeah, I figured. Desiree was totally flying high. She went away when you were 9, she said, and hasn't existed between that time and this. Last night at the stroke of 11:59:59, she was reborn somewhere in the forests and valleys of Koff's mystical mountain, this time a fully formed 16-year-old. How could she possibly know this? I wished for a friend like Lexi. How could my actual make-believe friend be alive? Why couldn't I have any more say in my wish? And who the hell was Koff? A second later, Desiree snapped her fingers. There she was, standing on my bus looking for Mandy Mateo. Blew my mind. She made explosion hands next to her head. So, yes, that's Lexi. But where, I asked, did she come from? From you, Miss Mandy, your heart, your mind, your imagination. She opened up her arms to the sky, from the place where wishes wait. And now, here she is, ready to assist with fulfilling your heart's desire. I wished for Lexi, I said, mostly to myself in a confirming the facts sort of way. Because really, I didn't want a Lexi-like friend. I wanted Lexi. You did, Desiree said, but you need to understand, she's only here to help with the wish. Once it plays out, she'll leave again, go back to wherever she came from.
Last week, I posed a trivia question. In the Andy Smithson series, alchemy plays a significant role. So my trivia question last week was, in alchemy, what are the 4 elementals? And the answer is air, fire, water, and earth. Those are the 4 elementals. Shawn, you have a trivia question for us. What is it?
I do have a question, and it's related again to the Star Wars theme. Question is, what are the titles of the original Star Wars movies?
Oh, okay. We are about to divide the wheat from the chaff in the Star Wars fandom. Yes, I do believe. So, for those of you who know, good for you. For those who don't, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I don't think this is going to be something you want to miss. Surely you want to know what the answer is next episode, and that is when Shawn will reveal it. So make sure you subscribe. Any final thoughts you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Well, I'd just like to let everybody know that my Wishmakers series is now complete. On March 24th, I released the final, the 5th book in the series. So I'll just show you quickly. You all saw this one, Sticks and Stones, with Mandy as our main character. This is number 2, Break My Bones. Chrissy is Mandy's best friend in book 1, and then she receives the wish in book 2. Book 3, Never Hurt Me. This is our genie. This is Desiree. She gets a wish in this one. And I thought the series was going to end there, but it didn't, because my genie is a little chatty and had more to talk about. So then came Had a Great Fall, and this is Robin. Robin receives the wish here. And then the final book in the series, which just came out, this is Ainsley in Back Together Again. And over the course of the series, there's individual wishes, like Mandy's in the first one. But over the course of the 5 books, Desiree's wish is ultimately revealed. So she has an arc that goes over the entire series. And she was a lot of fun. She's by far the favorite character I've ever created. So, and the fans really like her too.
What more could you ask for, right? That's awesome. All right. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed getting to know Shawn McGuire just a little bit. I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series. And as I've mentioned in the past, if you go to my blog, if you're looking for a new young adult fantasy or science fiction read, go to my blog. I've got all sorts of reviews that I've done on various young adult fantasy and science fiction books. And if you just want my honest assessment, there's all sorts of them. So I invite you to avail yourself of that.
Click the button to subscribe to the Book Nerd Paradise YouTube channel so you don't miss upcoming authors, giveaways, and answers to trivia questions.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I certainly look forward to seeing you again next Monday.